Hello, Blue House. This is a very important time of year. It's course selection time. That's the time during the school year when we do our course planning for next year. And the choices that you and your fellow Hawks will make over the next several weeks will determine what NDSS looks like next year. So it's really important that we get it right. So let's jump in. Before we dive into how to get ready and eventually submit your course selections for next year, we want you to put this date in your calendar. Grade 10 course selections are due no later than Friday, March the 4th. This means that you've made your decisions and have entered them into my blueprint by this date. We'll come back to that process later. Let's start by reviewing what's required for high school graduation in Ontario and how to use your personal graduation summary and your future goals to help you plan. Your graduation summary, a sample of which is seen here, is a very important document to understand. This is where we track all of your progress towards graduation. So it's really important anytime you're given the opportunity to have a careful look at it. We don't like any surprises on this document. If you have a look at the top section of the page, you'll see all of the big graduation requirements. And remember, when we talk about graduation in its simplest form, we talk about the three big things: 30 credits, 40 hours, and the literacy requirement. You can see where all of these big things are tracked at the top. The rest of your grad summary is devoted to tracking those 30 credits, including the 18 compulsory credits and 12 electives required for graduation. You'll see a note on the slide that the 30 credits now also includes 2 mandatory online learning courses. More on that in a moment. Have a look at your course summary. The left-hand side is where all compulsory credits are recorded. You should be able to find most of the credits you've taken so far located here. You'll see the course code, the date that you earned the credit, the mark that you earned, and the credit value, which is almost always 1. This part of the grad summary gives you a quick snapshot of the required credits you still need to earn, which makes it super helpful at this time of year when you're choosing your classes for next year. On the right-hand side, you probably don't see very much, or maybe you don't see anything at all yet, which is perfectly fine for a student in your shoes. Students don't usually start accumulating elective credits until the second half of grade 10, and then in grades 11 and 12, your elective course count really starts to grow. When you look at the courses you've already finished and add them up to the courses you have left on your timetable for this year, the total number we're hoping for is 16. If your number is lower than that, you may have a credit from grade 9 or 10 to make up for, and you'd want to take that into consideration when making your plan for next year, unless you already have a plan with a guidance counselor or student success. If you finish the year with 16 credits, you are eligible to take a spare as a senior student. In a 4-year graduation plan, if all credits are successfully completed, a student has the chance to take 2 spares. At any time when you take a class but do not earn a credit, you essentially use up an opportunity for a spare. Feel free to stop into People Place if you have any questions about this process. Now let's take a second to go back to that new online learning graduation requirement. On February 1st of this year, so just a couple of weeks ago, the Ontario government released details of the new online learning graduation requirement for high school students. While there are still lots of questions that need to be answered, here's a summary of what we know so far. First, this grad requirement applies to any students who started grade 9 last year or later, so that includes you. Students from these cohorts must successfully complete the equivalent of at least 2 full online credits in order to meet the grad requirement. Eligible credits must be delivered in a fully online format where students do not gather with the teacher in person. This means that an in-person class where an online platform is used, even if it's used every day, does not meet the eligibility requirements. Recognizing the exceptional circumstances of learning during the pandemic, the Ministry of Education is allowing our current grade 10 students, that's you, to count a maximum of 1 credit earned during last year's school closure towards the requirement. That's good news, so you're already halfway there. Finally, with the support of their parents or guardians, students may formally opt out of the online learning graduation requirement. This process for opting out is in development but will be released by the Limestone District School Board soon. As far as courses that will count towards this requirement, any courses of any grade level taken remotely during summer session will count towards the requirement. Alternately, students may opt to take an online course as part of their regular timetable during their grade 11 and/or 12 year. Information about these courses and how to register for them can be found in our course selection material or by speaking with a guidance counselor. Graduation summaries will soon reflect this additional graduation requirement. Breaking news, just this week we've learned that our school board is a few steps closer to having more online options available to LDSB students for next year. Here's the latest. Limestone is currently finalizing a larger online course catalog for the 22-23 school year. We hope to have this new list of course offerings available for browsing and for selecting in My Blueprint late next week. Once we have the materials to share, we will connect with you regarding a new list of the course offerings and the process for selecting and registering for these courses. At that time, we will open My Blueprint for course selection. For now, you can continue to plan your courses and consider your feelings about doing an online course next year. So stay tuned, Hawks. In grade 11, course titles shift and become tied to your destination after high school. Prerequisites also become very important in grade 11. Courses at the university level require grade 10 academic courses, so it's important when you're picking your classes for grade 11 to think about potential post-secondary pathways for life after high school. Once students get to grade 11, and assuming all grade 9 and 10 required courses have been successfully completed, there are only 2 compulsory courses for students to take: English and Math. Grade 11 English courses have a different code than you're used to seeing. Instead of an ENG code, the course code will start with the letters NBE. This is because curriculum expectations in grade 11 English courses across all streams are delivered using content that explores cultures of First Nations, Métis, and Inuit peoples of Canada. Math choices in grade 11 allow students to really start to tailor the math they do in school to prepare them for their post-secondary destinations. Students planning to study most diploma programs at college or go into the skilled trades, including into apprenticeships, should take grade 11 math at the college level. Students planning to study at university in a STEM field, science, technology, engineering, or math, plus some commerce programs, should take grade 11 math at the university level in order to prepare for advanced functions and calculus and vectors in grade 12. Students thinking of attending university but not in a science-related field, including anything considered a social science or humanities program, could opt to take grade 11 math at the mixed level, which prepares them for grade 12 university-level math of data management. Still, other students planning to head out to the world of work, or students heading into some college programs, might be best served by taking grade 11 math at the workplace level, covering math concepts applicable to everyday life. French immersion students, don't forget you must also add your grade 11 immersion credit to your required course list. There are a lot of changes when you move from being a junior student to a senior student, but one of the biggest, and maybe the scariest, is the amount of choice you have when it comes to optional or elective credits. Up until now, you've had 2 or 3 a year, but next year you can have up to 5 or 6. And while that freedom is exciting, it can also be a little bit overwhelming. Here are some things to keep in mind when you're making your choices. 1. Are you missing any of your compulsory credits for graduation? Do you still need to take your art credit, or maybe cover one of the group credits? 2. Do you have any grade 12 courses that you'll think you'll need for post-secondary, and what are their grade 11 prerequisites? 3. Are there any expanded opportunities for learning that you'd like to explore, like a co-op, an e-learning course, or a specialist high skills major program? If you need more information about any of these opportunities, stop by to chat with a counselor. 4. Remember, there are more online course selection options coming soon, hopefully by the end of next week. We'll get you an updated course list as soon as we have that information available. Senior students who have earned at least 16 credits by the end of grade 10 may also opt to take a spare during grade 11. And remember, just like in years past, you will be asked to include 2 alternate elective choices when you submit your courses. To enter your course selection, you will use My Blueprint. It's very important to the course selection process that you access My Blueprint through your Limestone Minds Online page. That's the only way that the course information gets sent to us in PeoplePlace. You probably already know how to access this already, as it's where your online courses live, but in case you need a reminder, I usually suggest getting there by Googling Limestone District School Board and using the Minds Online portal located right on their homepage. You'll be asked to enter your login credentials, which is your full LDSB email and the password you use to log into any school device. This will bring you to your landing page, and your My Blueprint widget should be listed across the top along with all of your other apps. You will enter courses into your high school planner. If this isn't on your page when you open the app, you can get to it easily by selecting High School from the menu on the left. You will be working under the bright blue heading of Next Year. Remember, you can use the filters to find the subject area that you are looking for. Be sure to look for the appropriate course code that matches up exactly with the code as it appears on the course list page, and carefully read the full title to make sure it's the grade, course, and the level you are expecting. If you make a mistake or change your mind when you're making your selections, you can use the 3 dots within the course box to delete your selection and start filling that space again. Once you've entered all of your classes for next year, plus 2 alternate electives, you'll be prompted to review your choices. On the review screen, look for green check marks. These indicate that all of your choices are courses you are able to take. If you see any red X's, be sure to check on the error and fix it if you can. Remember, prerequisites are really important in grade 11. If you have an error regarding an incomplete prerequisite, that's something that you are recovering or not quite done yet, or something that you're planning to complete at summer school, please leave us a comment to that effect so that we can approve your courses knowing that you have a plan. After careful review and sharing your planner with someone at home and leaving us any necessary comments, you are ready to submit. Use the big blue Submit button, but only when you are 100% ready. Remember, once you've submitted, changes can't be made without seeing a guidance counselor. And remember also that classes run or don't run based on the choices you make now, so please make them carefully. Once you've successfully submitted your classes, you should see the date and time of your submission near the top of your planner page. You can print off a copy of this page if you like, but we do not require a hard copy to be handed in to People Place or your homeroom teacher. Just a reminder that we will open My Blueprint for online course selection for grade 10 students as soon as we've received the updated information regarding the online learning options for next year. Your course selection should be completed and submitted through My Blueprint no later than Friday, March the 4th. So stay tuned for more information, grade 10s. And in the meantime, use the tools we've chatted about: your personal graduation summary, the course list package, the full course calendar, and the resources in My Blueprint. And if you need to chat with a counselor, feel free to book an appointment using the QR code here or post it around the school. We can't wait to help you plan.